So today I want to cover Azure Monitor, but actually yesterday I told Azure DevOps, right? So let us do after this. Today I'll cover Azure Monitor as well as the point to site VPN, which actually requires a virtual network gateway, and we can actually with the VPN, virtual private network, we can connect to our Azure private environment from our wherever VPN installed. From there we can connect the private network. These two concepts are planned for today. One is Azure Monitor, other one is VPN. Okay, so first Azure Monitor. What is Azure Monitor? Azure Monitor is, it's just like a surveillance camera. It watches whatever happening on that particular boundary, right? It will have some boundary, a rectangle shape or square shape or circle shape. It will have some boundary, and whatever happening in that particular boundary, it keep on watching. Azure Monitor does the same with additional capabilities, right? So if we have some sensor to the camera, right, whoever passing, it will alert us, right? So if we can have that to camera as well, some sensor during this time. If someone passed in this particular boundary, ring an alarm, kind of. Azure Monitor also does the same thing. It monitors whatever you want it to. Try to understand. It monitors whatever you want it to. That means you have to enable the monitor. For example, there are 100 virtual machines. If only 50 virtual machines you want to monitor, that's what, it's in your hand, or 100%. So whatever you wanted to monitor, Azure Monitor will monitor. Monitor in the sense, it will collect the information. It will collect the information, log data, metric data. There are two different data types. Will come in little later. So telemetry data, very simple. It will collect telemetry data. It can collect from virtual machine. It can collect from storage account, Key Vault, and Azure subscription level, management group level, right? Anything it can collect. It's not only connecting, it will collect the information, and based on the rules that we write, try to understand, based on the rules that we write on the collected information, that will react. For example, so and so virtual machine is stopped functioning. We can write a rule, if any of the virtual machine face this particular symptom, send an email or do a phone call or send a message or write anything or trigger a automation account, even that is possible. So what I'm saying is, it will collect the data, it is able to analyze the data. Also, whatever the alerts that we wrote, it can act that particular alerts. That's it. And visibility into 4 key areas. That's what I told. Activities like Azure activities, subscription level, management group level, etc., etc. And performance metrics of virtual machine or anything, any resource. Performance metrics, health events, availability status, health events. Right. So service is not well. It will report that. Availability, so and so service is not available for the operations, maybe at the Microsoft end some issue, right? Even that cases, it is able to report us. So these are the 4 key areas, and based on 2 different types of the data, 2 different types of telemetry data, that is metrics, logs. Metrics, logs, that's it. Metrics in the sense, it's like weather report. We'll see the weather report, right? So 35 degrees, 36 degrees, 35.2, something like that. It will have some digit information. Whereas logs is something like so and so service has been stopped, so and so service started now, kind of. It's a text, some paragraph, something like that. That is log. If something happened, the detailed description of that particular action is log. So, for example, metric, it's like the CPU utilization, memory utilization, something like that. So here, three different steps are there. Monitoring, in terms of the monitoring, collect the data, visualize and analyze the data, respond to the alerts that we create. First, we'll see collect. It can collect tenant level, subscription level, Azure resource level, application level, guest operating system level. Application level, guest operating. These are the capabilities of the Azure Monitor to collect the information. So I told you, like metrics and logs. If you see right hand side, these are the logs. So and so error is happened, so and so details, etc. On this particular date, everything will be there. These are the bunch of the logs. Whereas metrics is like it's like 100, 120, 10, 50, something like that. If you draw that, you can draw a line with that particular information. So in Metric Explorer, we can see the graph. So if we draw a line between that particular information, it will come in a line manner. So retention of the data, retention in the sense, it's like how many days you want to store the data inside Azure monitoring. It's like data retention can be configured from 30 days to 730 days, 2 years for all the workspaces. If you want to go more than that, you can configure storage account, event hub, or anything. By default, Azure Monitor supports 30 days to 2 years to store the data. If you want more than that, you can simply configure a storage account and we can ship all the logs to the storage account, and that's persistent. It will store till the time you really want it to, right? If you don't want, you can delete from storage account. Next, visualize. Views are there, dashboards are there, Power BI, you can integrate Power BI, but simply in required manner, graphical manner, graphical representation is possible with the output that we are getting, right? So views are there, inbuilt views, Azure views are there, Azure dashboards are there. You can create dashboards, so and so user logins, for example, or the virtual machine utilizations like CPU utilization, memory utilization, disk utilization, disk IO, networking, whatever, everything we can simply create as dashboard. Next one, respond. Respond in the sense, this is what crucial. We collect the information. On top of the collected information, what we wanted to do. So and so event is occurred, then send this particular email to the service desk. That is possible. Send email, SMS, voice, or trigger a webhook of the automation account, or raise a ticket in ITSM, means ServiceNow, Jira, etc., right? And trigger automation runbook, anything. So these are the possibilities of the action group. First, we have to create an action group. Action group contains these many configurations. Based on our requirement, we configure action group. Action group contains a logic. If that logic matches, right? Logic will be written in alert. If the logic matches in the alert, it will trigger required manner. Whatever we configure, maybe a email or logic app, anything, based on that, it will trigger that particular action. This is called action group. So this is example alerts. So on the metrics we can write, logs we can write, and Anyway, that email, SMS, voice, etc., we can send an alert. So even, for example, there are even we can invoke automation accounts for sure. There are automation possibilities. You can invoke the logic apps, Azure functions, or webhooks, or you can raise a ticket, automation runbook, anything. So what happens is, if so and so virtual machine having the utilization, then or in other words, virtual machine stopped functioning. We know some virtual machines, if those are development, we can restart anytime. In that situation, we can write the alert if so and so category is matched, trigger this automation runbook. What written in that particular automation runbook, whatever the issued virtual machine, that will be restarted. We can do that, or we can configure the scale sets, right? If it is a virtual machine scale set, we can scale up, scale manual scales. What I'm saying is not the automatic scale. So we can trigger manual scale, one step up or one step down. We can literally configure that. There are many things we can literally configure with the automation account. So we'll see that. This is the example flow. There will be an alert record, and alert record will be watching the logs which is stored in the log store. Whenever the rule criteria matches, it keep on watching. Whenever rule criteria, rule in the sense, if so and so virtual machine is deallocated, for example, if memory is more than 85%, if it is matched so and so criteria, alert logic will be triggered. That alert logic may be an email or maybe a automation. This is what the flow which the automation exactly, sorry, the alert mechanism exactly works for.
Sir, can you please explain the last slide once?
This one, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
No, there will be, see, whatever the logs, those are coming, whether it is from the subscription level, virtual machine level, or any resource level, right? Those comes and sit in the log storage first of all for 30 days to 2 years. That will store here. As soon as those logs or alerts storing here, we will create a alert logic. So alert in the sense, if some virtual machine is not reachable, what we need to do is a scenario, one particular example scenario. So alert record will be there. It's keep on watching the log storage. If any rule criteria is matched, rule criteria in the sense, we create a rule. If virtual machine is deallocated, is a rule. If any such record found in the log storage, alert will be triggered. Very simple. We write some condition. If that condition matches, alert logic will be triggered. That alert logic might be a email or might be a automation. Same thing, whatever we are seeing so far, right? Alert logic is the action group. That the details will be there in the alert logic. Alert logic is actually a sorry, action group, and the alert record is an alert which we configured. If this is happened, do this kind of scenario.
Okay. Got it, sir. Thank you.
So yeah, what should I do? Yeah, let this happen. Anyhow, this is for the next session. So now we create Logalytics workspace. Log Analytics Workspace 01 and that's it, really. Give some name and pricing tier 2018, only one particular pricing tier. Create it.
Sir, we have created a log analytics workspace in our previous session
Yes, yes,
to
yes,
configure monitoring in the virtual machine.
yes, yes. To configure hybrid worker,
Hybrid work.
yeah, automation. So this is the Log Analytics Workspace where we can configure all required and also we'll create two virtual machines. Let that two different virtual machines create, then we configure the monitoring.
Sir, virtual machine scale sets that is not covered, sir.
Scale sets, right?
Yes, sir. Auto scaling something.
Yeah, we'll cover it. No problem. But that's a small concept, but if you understand virtual machine, it's the same concept. But no problem. If you wanted, I'll cover it. Okay, two different virtual machines been created. Let us go to the VM. VM01. And see, if we want to configure to the Loganalytics workspace, there are two different ways. You can come to the properties of this particular virtual machine. From here, you can configure, or you can simply open the what to say Loganalytics workspace. From there, also you can add. It's up to you. We do both. One VM this, one VM that. Just a moment. Yeah, in Loganalytics workspace, let us go to Loganalytics workspace. Here we can do bunch, bulk of the virtual machines. We can literally enable it. Yeah. Virtual machines. You can also connect to the storage account, logs, etc. It will show whatever the virtual machines available in our subscription, right? In any subscription, for example, now there is only dev having some virtual machines. Tomorrow, even production subscription having some virtual machines means even that will be shown here. Only thing is you can select on the virtual machine, click connect. That's it. Now this virtual machine will be connected to Logalytics workspace, but it does not know at this moment, it does not know what needs to be collected. I'll show that. Let this happen. We do another thing, virtual machine 2 from the virtual machine panel. So on logs, what you can do is enable button will be there. Enable, and it will show like this is not connected to any workspace. Please select. And we select existing one and enable it. These are the two different methods that we can enable virtual machine monitoring. And still, we just connected these two virtual machines to Logalytics workspace. That's it. We just connected. We really not told anything like what logs needs to be collected, whether it is CPU related, memory related, etc., etc., etc. We literally not told that anyway. So come to the agent configuration. You have to configure an agent configuration first of all, right? So add Windows event log. In Windows event log, what you want to, if those virtual machines are Windows, falls under this criteria. Windows event logs and performance counters, two different things. If those are Linux, you have to configure. Generally, in organization, they'll configure Windows event logs, Windows performance counters, Linux performance counters, and syslogs. This four. If any server having IIS, they'll enable this also. Simple. So first we'll configure Windows event logs. Application logs are must and should. System logs needed. If there is any DNS server, directory service, if there is any AD related. If there is any clustering, failover clustering, there are many. This is just for an example. You can literally configure whatever you want. So for example, system event broker, apply it. Likewise, this information you will get what needs to be configured. You will configure, you will apply it. These are belongs to event logs. But most of our cases like application and system is enough for us to testing. And here we decide whether we need CPU related, disk related, right? Memory related. So for example, processor. Process time, idle time, thread. Processor percentage time, and in that processor percentage time, these are really valid. I mean required. For now, I'll just add few more. That's it. So processor. Again, let me go there. I just add 2 or 3. That's it.
So in real time also the same things will be configured, sir.
The bunch will be there. Not only this, I'm just doing for the testing. Same way you have to add, you will get the bunch of list. You'll get bunch of list. From there, they'll give what you need to configure here. Simple. For example, if there is any ASP.NET installed there, these things will be given to you. If there is any .NET, these things will be given to you, right? So kind of based on the, if there is any Hyper-V there, like they'll give this, and any SQL database being installed there. There are many situations, right? Based on that, you will get memory pages per second. One more memory. Reads and writes both needed. Yeah. Yeah, kind of. I just configured these two and apply it. Now we literally told to the system that what needs to be captured from the virtual machine. These things will be captured from virtual machines now. If you apply, that will apply on the agent. Whatever the agent that going to install on this particular virtual machines, right? That now it knows what needs to be collected. If you see the agent extension, Microsoft Monitoring Agent, we are giving the information to this particular agent that what needs to be collected. That's what we did so far. Likewise, whatever applicable, there are, if there are Linux virtual machines in your environment, you can configure this. If there is any IIS server installed, you can do this. Only this particular 5 different criteria will configure at the monitoring level. And we configured virtual machines, that's okay. What about subscription level logs, right? Go to the subscription. Select any of the subscription. And in activity logs, you can see diagnostic setting. Let me delete it. I'll configure again. Yeah, in diagnostic settings, we have to configure newly configured log analytics workspace. Click add and give some name. DevSub 001 logs and mention whatever you want. And choose anyone of where you want to send. Here, log analytics workspace. If you want to send storage account, event hub, right? Send any other partner solution, I mean third party. So this is what appropriate DevSub 001 LAW 01. Save it. That's it. Now this subscription level logs will reach to the log analytics workspace. Not only that, anything, whatever you like, you can configure. Even at the resource group level, you can find. Diagnostic settings. Where there is diagnostic settings, right? You can configure that particular place. For example, even the network adapter level, NSE level, right? Public IP, anything you can literally configure. If you click on the resource group and diagnostic settings, all diagnostic settings will be listed here. See, this is related to the network adapter, one particular network adapter. You can configure and that will send information.
So, sir, in the resource group level, we can see activity logs. So,
yeah.
So the what exactly the difference between activity log and this diagnostic settings?
Okay, even in the subscription level, if you see, I clicked on diagnostic settings only. I went to activity log, clicked on diagnostic settings. That's what below.
Okay.
I just directly went here. But this configuration at the subscription level, if you see, subscription level, whatever we configured at the subscription level, that will inherit to the below resource groups. All these things will come at the subscription level only. You don't need to configure below resource group level. What I told here is literally about resources inside resource group. If you want to configure this particular energy, click on that, right? This is energy, purely energy related. Add it, it will send logs to the log analytics workspace. Give any name. See, network security group events, network security group rule counter.
Sir, so we have configured at a subscription level. So
Hmm.
that will inherit to the below
Resource group only, not the resources. Resources you have to configure each individual.
Okay.
What we configured at the subscription level is logs. That includes resource logs. Any specific resource related, for example, here, rule counters and group events, these things will not be covered. What will be covered? NSE modified, NSE created, NSE deleted, right? NSE updated. These top layer information will be collected at the subscription and resource group level. Whereas in detail information, you have to configure like this in the diagnostic settings of each service.
Got it, sir.
Sir, can we scale up or scale down according to these logs?
Scale up, scale down. What scale up, scale down?
We have configured the log analytics workspace for VMs,
Virtual
right?
machine. Yeah.
So as per those metrics, can we scale up or scale down the VM?
Scale up, scale down. Yes, we can do. 100% we can do. 100% it's possible. But why companies will not do? Because that involves downtime, isn't it?
Yeah.
There are two different scales here: horizontal scaling, vertical scaling, right?
Yeah.
Horizontal something sleeping line, vertical something standing line. If your virtual machine, for example, B2MS with some 2 CPU and some 4 GB RAM, something, right? So if you want to scale up that, where you will go? Next available size. It is possible. Next available size, when it will go? If you stop the virtual machine, then it will upgrade and start the virtual machine. Why we are looking for the scale up settings? Because virtual machine is full peak utilization. It reached 90% utilization. All customers are using that particular virtual machine. And then, do you really want to reboot that in peak position? No, that is not the real scenario. But we can do. There is no doubt in it. We can do. But companies will not do. For that, we do have virtual machine scale sets. So I think we are going to cover that in next session, nothing to worry. So there I'll explain how things works.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Generally, it is possible, anything possible. You can trigger an automation account. If virtual machine is stopped, for example, by someone, I can write an automation rule like if this event happened, start again. I can do that. Based on the requirement, we go one by one.
Okay. Sir, actually, can you share the script for stopping the bulk VMs or starting the VMs?
Stop bulk VMs.
Yeah, starting
Schedule based.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Can you please remind me on when?
Okay, sure. Sir.
On last day.
Sure.
These things, whatever things that I need to do. Yeah, I'll explain this and give you. I think I forgot to explain this. I have to explain this and I'll give you. Then it will be easy for you. So
Yeah,
based
sir.
on the tags, we can get all the logs. Yeah, this scenario we will do. That's really important. So for example, we do have dev tagging. Whatever the virtual machine having dev as a tagging, it has to get the tag values by 8 a.m. virtual name machines needs to be started, and by 6 p.m. virtual machines needs to be stopped. Yes, we'll do that.
Okay, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So this is how you can configure anywhere like log collection, and that logs will come and sit in this particular log analytics workspace. So let's see. You can come here, these logs. Okay. Now what you want to really see is a matter. So left hand side, you can see all the tables. These are the tables, different tables. So for example, event, you can literally type event, enter it, and run it. These are the events that happening at the VM02 and VM01. Just because we do have two different virtual machines, we are able to see VM02 and VM01 alone, right? These are Azure activities. If you want to see Azure activity, you can literally type the table name, right? Below table name, you can type it and you can run it. Yeah, this is Azure related. VNet gateway. Okay, whatever we deployed on the virtual network gateway, I mean, before the session I did, that been completed, it seems. And it is showing the operation name, etc., deployment right, everything. So these are the subscription level events. If you want to do more, you can go any, expand it, and you can read what scope level happened. So what action, who performed it, etc. Details will be given to you. Azure activity. Okay. So these are the Azure activities, events, heartbeat. Heartbeat is something like related to the virtual machine. And if any virtual machine is agent, right? Whatever the agent that installed on the virtual machine is alive means that will send a heartbeat. Heartbeat in the sense every few seconds, it will send I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive. That is heartbeat. So let's see what are all the virtual machines really connected to this particular log analytics workspace. VM1, VM2. See the frequency. Each and every few seconds, those are literally sending heartbeat because the agent is live. Agent is able to communicate with the log analytics workspace inside virtual machine. So this is what heartbeat and perf. Events are the, let me show you. Two different types. So agent configuration, this is the event log. Whatever the event we are seeing here, that is coming from this particular piece. Whatever the this perf, right, coming from performance counters. Two different. Because we configured, we are able to see that particular tables. Let me show you perf. See, percentage user time, page writes, reads. This is what we configured. Whatever we configured, that information will be pulled out of the virtual machine because we configured it, nothing more than that. So now let us go to events. In event, in event, if we want to see only one virtual machine related information, how we do that? How we do that? Pipeline. This is the pipeline space where computer, see the names here. This is computer because we want to sort with the VM01 or 002, right? Then I use this particular name. Computer equals to computer equals to in double quotes VM01. For example, let me play it. Now you're able to see only VM01 related. There are only 5 logs available. Let me change to VM02. There are few more. And even in VM01, VM02, if you want to again filter based on some event ID, let's see if there is any different event ID. No, there is only 7036 event ID. Let's see if there is any. Because just 10 minutes, right? It will take some time to gather different events. In VM01, is there anything different is available? I want multiple event IDs. All are 7036. It will take some time.
Sir, here filters are also there, sir. In Geo in the, yeah,
This
yes.
thing you mean?
Yeah, yes, sir, yes.
This is on output. Once output is, this output is coming based on this line.
Okay.
Once output received, you can use filters. On the result, whatever the result is came, on top of that, if you want to apply some filters, this helps you. But to get this information, the main filter is here. You have to write some code, something like. Need to give some time, that's it. Okay, whatever. So if we want to go to the event, sorry, event ID. So where event ID equals to so and so. Kind of, this is what we do. Nothing will be found for sure. Yeah, because this is int, we don't need to give double quotes. Nothing will be there. There is no such. If you want to comment, just give this slash. It is 7036. At least we need to give some half an hour or 1 hour time to perfectly get the all required information. So this is what only 7036 related information is coming in. So this is what, if you want to see the logs, this is what, or performance counter, same way, you can literally watch. And this is okay. This is okay to see. What about alert configuration, right? We need to configure alerts to, we'll see how that happens. Go to the alerts, left side alert. And new alert rule. Click on new alert rule. And this is the resource. Edit resource. We are not writing on Loganalytics workspace. Edit this resource. We are writing on virtual machine, for example. Virtual machine, and select the virtual machines, whatever you want. So scope been selected and condition. Condition will be, for example, for now deallocation. Deallocate the virtual machine. If someone deallocated the virtual machine, then what needs to be done? And action group. Here we literally create some action group about whether we are sending an email, SMS, phone call, or anything. Action group name, test group, test action 01, and notification, which type of notification you want to send, email, SMS, message, etc., etc. So email, let me send to my email. So my email. So if you want to send SMS, etc., voice, it will ask country code and phone number. You can test it out. I'm just showcasing for the Gmail ID. And name. And next, if you want to trigger anything, right? For example, if you want to raise a ServiceNow ticket, Logic app, Function app, or automation runbook, anything. But trust me, none of this works. Whatever you are going to do is this. Service desk will be there. You will send email to the service desk. SD. So service desk will receive the emails, and on top of that, based on the emails, they will configure the tickets. They'll create the tickets assigned to the appropriate team, because Azure will have different kind of resources. Networking, whatever networking deep dive will go to the network team, storage, compute. If it is operating system related, that goes to the Windows team or Linux team, etc., etc. Right? For that, we just configure the service desk email ID, and that will be configured. That's it, literally. So let that create. Once it is created, I'll get welcome email. Let me show you. Yeah, okay, let it be. Action group created and assigned, and we have to give the details. VM is deallocated. Just some description. Create alert rule. So now in our virtual machines, any virtual machine is deallocated. Any virtual machine is deallocated. I will get an email. For example, consider I'm from the service desk. Service desk will receive the email with more details. So and so virtual machine is deallocated. Not only this, for example, let us configure one more alert. Deallocation is very plain, right? Let us configure one more. Virtual machine. On this virtual machines, right? If you want, you can select entire subscription level. Whatever the virtual machines, that will be applied. So, okay, all virtual machines. This is all virtual machines. Simple. If you, this is what generally it will configured on all virtual machines. And the condition, if any virtual machine, memory or CPU, what happening? Am I selecting all categories? All categories. Only 20 signals. No, this is not the case. I should get the multiple. Okay, let me go to virtual machine, any of the virtual machine, and let's go to alert. In monitoring, there will be alert. I just want to see the conditions. Yeah, now there are a number of, right? So it's considering we are writing on top of log analytics workspace. No, we are not writing there. We are writing on the virtual machine. Let me select first scope. Select this, then it will be okay. Okay, I got it now. If I select, what happening is edit resource. Let me add the condition. Okay. So memory. Available memory in bytes, for example, or CPU, whatever. Percentage CPU or anything. And here you can see conditions. This is what I wanted to show you. Two different cases. First one, we configured virtual machine deallocation. That's straightforward. That will not have any condition. If you take CPU utilization, memory utilization, disk space utilization, anything, that will have some condition. We have to configure some condition that I wanted to elevate. So greater than or less than. For example, we taken CPU is greater than average value is 80%. If it is 80%, this is boundary 80%. Current utilization is here, somewhat 0.65%. And if it is more than the CPU, then we decide what needs to be done, right? Every 5 minutes, verify every 5 minutes of the frequency of the 1 minute. This is the condition and click OK. That condition will be created here. CPU is greater than 80%. Then see, even it is showing the cost $0.20. And action group, select the action group, select it and give some specific details. CPU utilization that's it. And select the severity. Definitely it should be a critical one. A CPU 80 is not critical. Warning is okay. If it is 99%, more than 99, it is critical. So that's it. Create alert rule. These are the two different types we configure. If CPU is more than 80%, it will give the critical warning, warning. And if virtual machine deallocated, it will give me the information like this virtual machine been deallocated. Let's see now. Let me open my Gmail. Just a moment. So see, this is what the email. You have been added to the Azure Monitor Action Group, so and so group. Details will be here under this subscription. This is the resource group name. This is the action group name. Now let us make this particular thing. Go to the home. Let us break something. I mean, let us stop the virtual machine. VM1 stop. Deallocation in the sense stop. Let's see whether it gives us alert or not. Okay, deallocated, but it will take a minute or two. It's not that much accurate.
Sir, same way we can configure on a disk management also. right?
Anything.
So if a disk is offline or disk is disconnected from the virtual machine, so we can trigger an alert.
Disk is disconnected.
Yes, in the VM, disk got disappeared or offline. It went off.
Yeah, that is possible. Yes. It will take a minute or two for sure.
Sir, so external monitoring agents also will be integrated with us.
Yes. Agent based, that is agent based monitoring. Even not only monitoring, even the backup. Third party agents can be installed on the virtual machine and you can monitor it.
Like Nagios.
Yeah. And also there is a possibility you can ship all your logs, whatever the logs that you are getting, you can ship all your logs to the third party solution as well. There it will be filtered, it will be monitored. Anything is possible. Yeah, I think there are 3. First one is on VM01. VM is deallocated, so and so. And the resource ID, including the resource ID, you will get. So the service desk team, they knows what this is on which particular virtual machine, on which subscription this is residing, on what resource group. So this is what they'll get information about VM01, VM0. These are all related VM01. Okay, maybe VM02 might take a little later. But see, 3 different alerts, and VM02 also might reach. Yeah, this is related VM02. So service desk, they'll perform their actions accordingly. That's it. Is it clear on the monitoring? But in monitoring, that already been set up. No need to do anything much. What we do, we may sometimes enable new alerts, and we may configure new virtual machines, new alerts, and we may see the logs, what exactly the logs are coming in. And it's like if some troubleshooting, for example, virtual machine failed with so and so reason, they so we have to go to that particular virtual machine logs, and you have to filter with the event ID, and you have to see what happening, right? Instead of logging into the each and every virtual machine, all logs are present in this particular monitoring. So here one of the place that you can see that mostly you are into configuring the alerts. Very rarely your work is generally around creation, modification, etc., etc. The resource management you will be into, and into the monitoring, nothing. It's very limited. If you know this particular piece, whatever we done, that is enough. From here, you can do literally different things. There are many things we can do with monitoring, but this base is needed. Okay, so any doubt on this monitoring before we proceed to other topic?
Sir, could you please elaborate the steps, step one, step two, so that
Step one, step two on the monitoring, right?
yes, sir.
First, we configured Log Analytics workspace. In the Log Analytics workspace, we have configured the first and foremost, we have to configure the agent configuration. There it will be Windows event logs, performance counters, Linux performance counters, and Linux system logs. You will configure this, and you go to the virtual machine. You will add multiple virtual machines to the workspace. Whatever added to this workspace, it will show this workspace. Even other virtual machines also, it will show like other workspace. If you configure to other, those also will be visible here. And these are the two different things you have to do on the virtual machine front. And that's it. Now logs will be collected. If you want to do any other, the subscription level or any other details you want to capture, one thing you do is you go to the subscription, and activity logs, diagnostic settings will be available here. See, diagnostic settings, and you will configure this. You will get all the subscription level, whatever the subscriptions are there, under which the resource group, under which the resource, the administrative actions, right? Whatever the administrative actions, those will be. Whatever the security actions, those will be. Service health related, alert related, policy, also auto scale, right? Resource health and recommendations, anything. These things will be shipped to the Log Analytics workspace based on the configuration that you do here. These two things. Next, we configured the alerts. We configure the alerts like if virtual machine is reallocated, if virtual machine CPU, if virtual machine disk, if virtual machine memory, etc., etc. But here we have to configure the resource. On which resource we are configuring this, point number one. And what condition we are applying on the resource, point number two. And what action we are taking if that condition is true. Action is action group, email, etc., etc. And some description about the alert rule. You will create the alert. That's it. It will take 10 minutes to alive, and after that it will be in function. After 10 minutes, you're able to receive all alerts, whatever you configured. This is what we done so far. This is what enough for you to proceed further.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Really, that's enough. You don't need to go anything. Okay. So now I think I configured the I think this is done. Okay, let it be. So next concept is this. We are doing point to site. We'll have some network. On that network, we'll enable virtual network gateway. With the help of virtual network gateway, we will configure point to site on that particular virtual network gateway. Using internet, we'll install the VPN on our virtual machine and be able to reach the Azure virtual machine, right? Or on premises, from on premises. This might be on premises or your personal, anything. On premises virtual machine, you'll install the VPN. On your personal virtual machine, you'll install the VPN, and through the internet, you're able to communicate the virtual machines which are resides inside Microsoft Azure cloud. This is what we are going to do now. Because point to site is important. So any one of the point to site to site, anything, express route, we need to do. That's why we are doing point to site, which involves some VPN. We need to install some VPN. We need to first configure the VPN and we need to install the virtual private networking VPN. Just a moment, I'll start that. Okay. First and foremost, you have to create a VPN, virtual network gateway. Before to that, you have to create a VNet, virtual network. Okay, VNet 01, etc., is there. So I will create VNet 02. This is the default settings I'm going with. To 10.2.0016 and 10.2.0024 and review create. Done. Then select for virtual network gateway. With the help of gateway, we're able to communicate. So create in dev, but this is costly. As soon as you test it, just decommission. VNet gateway 02, for example, and West Europe. Yeah, here two different types. Whether you want to go VPN or express route. In VPN, there are two types: point to site to site. In express route, that's a dedicated lease line. Whatever the traffic that we are reaching to the Azure private network using VPN, it will traverse through internet, but a secure channel. Whereas express route, it will not traverse through internet. It will have its own dedicated express route channel, and that will be passed through that. A dedicated tunnel, what we can say is. So express route, this has to be provisioned by providers, network providers. This is too much costly, and for now we are unable to configure this. This will be established either VPN or express route. But just for our knowledge, we are learning, but this will be configured on the day one. If they procure the Azure, if they configure the Azure subscription or tenant or anything, right? The first thing they do is either VPN or express route. Trust me, you never ever get the chance to configure. In very, very rare case, you will get it. Very rare case. 99.999% you won't get the visibility to create that. But we should have the knowledge. That's why we are covering. So VPN, in VPN, there are two types, point to site, site to site, and express route is a dedicated channel. The only the difference is traffic will traverse through internet in VPN. Traffic will traverse only through secure channel in this particular, sorry, only through tunnel, dedicated tunnel in express route. If you select VPN, there are two different types, which is the route based and policy based. Route based is a latest one, whereas policy based is very old one, and generally people are using route based now. So policy based is legacy, and point to site, it goes route based only. And main thing, do not select anything apart from basic. Try to understand why, because thousands and thousands even per hour it will cost if you go anything beyond anything, but they'll have their own features, different features. Select the basic, and in basic we do have only generation 1. Select the virtual network, whatever you created now, VNet02, and from that VNet02 it will pick one subnet for the gateway. Gateway subnet will be picked from the VNet that you selected. And public IP, it requires a public IP. And there are enable active mode. If you have multiple gateways configured for the redundancy, you can configure active, and you can specify, right, public IP address of the secondary gateway. If you have primary and secondary concept, generally companies will configure that. They'll have primary VNet gateway and secondary VNet gateway, and you will configure the active. So both will be active. If one gone, second one will be available. That situation we configure active mode, and BGP for the routing. So automatic routes that we select. So that's it. I think, yeah. If you create, it will take 40 minutes. It will take 40 minutes if I create, and after 40 minutes, I can configure it. So that's it. I can test it after 40 minutes. So I'm just closing now because this is what I configured, and VNet Gateway 1 is available with the VNet 01. I configured VNet. VNet 01 for the same reason. See, gateway subnet is already configured. This is what. And here, to configure point to site, there is a specific configuration, point to site configuration. Configure now, and you will select address pool, whatever the oh, for that we need a certificate, right? I think first we need to create the certificate here to fill in, and certificate thumbprint will be pasted here. Okay, then we create the certificate. Open ISC. Now I'll show you how to generate a certificate, simple manner with PowerShell. We have to give some address pool and we have to give the certificate. That's it. Save, and you're able to download the VPN. You can able to see here, download VPN client. This will be installed in our local system, and then with the help of the certificate, we able to reach the private networking. So certificate, let this open. Okay, let me open. Certificate, where it is. Yeah, self-signed certificate. So now, even I'll share this with you, nothing. So if we run this particular code will create a certificate. Run this. Once this task is completed, yes, this is the certificate thumbprint, right? It is created. Now, open MMC means Microsoft Management Console. Click on that. To see that, I'm just trying to import the certificate. That's it. Whatever the certificate created, I'm trying to import that. I'm really not doing anything. I'll import, because if I run this particular PowerShell script, right, this will go and sit in this particular MMC. I'll just download the certificate. Whatever created certificate, self-signed certificate, I will download from here. So go to file and add remove snap-in. And here certificates, add my user account is okay. Finish. Click OK. So select the certificate. And here you can go to the personal or expand here, personal certificates. See here, two different things. It will have the data as well. 18.9. Right? So these two. In this particular two different, whatever we created using this particular two different certificates will be created. Those are the child certificate and root certificate. Whatever we need is a root certificate, VPN root certificate, and right click on this particular alt task, and what we have to do is export. We're just exporting it. We are really not doing anything. Click next. And yeah, that's it. And base 64.cr. Yes, this is what. Select second one. Next, and give some file name. Let me give it on desktop. On desktop. And we have to give the file name. Let me give it any name. VPN root certificate. And save it. On desktop, I'm saving in. Next, finish. Export successful. That's it. Now, this is really not needed. And now what we do is, let us open the certificate what we created with some Notepad++. And what we can do is we can copy the certificate from here to here and paste public certificate data. Paste there, pasted, right? So what the name we give, VPN root cert something, right? We give that name. VPN root cert, let it be. And pool. Here we need to give the pool as well. Pool in the sense, it's a better, whatever the private networking we are using here in the Azure, give something else. If you remember, I told you RFC 1918, 172 series, 198 series, 10 series, 3 different series we spoke about. I will give whatever we are not using. Simple. That will, I'll get the pool from different IP range. That is 172.16 dot and 201, just for example, .0/24. Just I'm taking a pool from there, which we will not use the IP range. That's it. We have to give the name and paste the certificate, and we have to give the pool and click save. It will take some time, but it will be succeeded. So what happens is this certificate data will be binded to the VPN that we are going to download, and that will help us to connect the Azure private environment. With certificate, we are connecting. Simple.
So, can you please explain the address pool again?
Yeah. So see, what the IP range that we are using here. In here, we are using 10 series, right? I told you RFC 1918. Let me show you again. I don't have somewhere to be VNet PPT, but I'll show you here. RFC 1918 addresses. See, these three are RFC 1918 private addresses. If you remember, when I run the PPT of the VNet, I explained you 10 series by /8 you can take, 172 series you can take, and 198 series you can take. I just took some /24 IP address from here. If you like, take from here. Or if you like, you can take from here also. But why I'm not taken here? Because this will not be visible in future deployments. We may forgot that we configured address pool for the VNet gateway, right? We may forgot that in future deployments. For that reason, I just asked you to take either this series or that series. This is the pool. Whatever the connections that happen, right, that will be happened in this pool, through this pool. Try to understand. Simple. Through this pool, that connection being established. For that reason, what we can call is some temporary IPs, bunch of temporary IPs from the different address pool. That's it.
Got it.
Yeah, I think it's saved now. I think it's saved.
So, sir, in real time, the certificate will be provided by the customer or
Yes, yes, there will be a certificate authority. You don't need to worry about it. And we will not configure it. Trust me. I don't know. Even in life, one time we may able to configure or not. I don't know that. I never ever configured so far. So download VPN client. In production, I'm saying. In production, I never ever configured. I clicked on download, where it went. Okay. Save. Yes, save file to desktop. Save it. I think it is downloaded now. VPN gateway 01, extract. Here, take Windows 64, install the 64-bit client. In meantime, let me power on the virtual machines because I powered off those virtual machines. This is VNet 0, right? Where is, am I not configured anything to this? This one to monitor RG. Okay, no problem. We'll create one virtual machine. Leave it. Run it. Do you want to install the VPN client for VNet 01? Yes. Install it. Create virtual machine. Okay. And in the networking, it has to go to the I don't know where it's going on. There should be a VNet, right? What happening? I think VNet 01 something. Yeah, it is here.
Under
VNet K. Yeah.
different resource groups.
I don't know. Am I created in
VNet resource groups. I mean, gateway resource groups.
gateway is okay. Central US. I use Central US. It's a problem. Okay. Maybe I click that by default. Networking. VNet 01. Okay. Okay. So that's it. Review created.
Sir, exactly what is the use case of this point to point? So, because all cloud VMs are having a public IPs and all, so we can.
No. Generally, will not have the public IP. Will not have this public IP. And if you see very keenly, we are targeting only one particular VNet. We are not targeting each and every. Generally, we do have a jump host concept, jump host or bastion host or anything. I mean, one particular VNet will be used for as a jump host network. From using VPN, we will jump to the VNet 01. From there, we go to the productive virtual networks. That's what the scenario. For that, this we enable point to site VPN, and from here people able to go to the production, because we won't allow people to go directly to the production. That's what the reason.
Got it.
And public IPs, delete that word. In production, there won't be any public IPs for the virtual machines.
So can you please explain, show us that how to configure jump host or bastion host?
Jump host, this is how. See, they'll configure some virtual machines, group of virtual machines of Windows or Linux. Those will be placed in a VNet, and we'll configure the VNet gateway to that particular VNet. Then we call that is a jump host or bastion host, whatever. We'll have some group of virtual machines act as a jump host. Nothing. We take RDP to that virtual machine. From there, we jump to the productive virtual machines. Two steps to reach the production. Nothing much. It's a concept. That's it. Okay, done. Okay, first we install the VPN, right? Let's see the VPN is able to see here or not. Yeah, VNet 01 is showing here. Click on that. It will take us VNet 01 connect. Connect, continue. Yes.
Sir, admin access is mandatory for this to connect to Azure VPN.
Yes. Generally, in your organization laptop, company will be install the required VPN and they'll give it to you.
Okay, but here to connect also it is asking for admin rights, right?
No, it's not required. This is default app, right? We created default app. I think first time. Let me try second time. It might not ask.
Okay.
They'll prepare. This is default app. They will customize and they'll give it to you. You might see in Cisco VPN, and there are different VPNs are available. So those will be used.
Okay.
Cisco AnyConnect or any other. 10.0.4, and it is asking the password. If it is asking password, that's it. You are able to reach your private networking directly. I'm not jumping using public network, public address.
Sir, you're connecting to the private AP of gateway, sir?
No, my Azure virtual machine 10.0.0.4, this virtual machine VPN VM01, and that is having a private IP address is 10.
Okay, 10.0.0.4.
Yeah, this is from this VNet 01/default is a subnet. And that's it. I'm able to reach this particular network.
From your local laptop, you're directly.
Yeah, this is from my local. Yeah.
Sir,
Please go ahead.
sir, actually express route through express route also will be connecting like this only.
Generally, express route will not be given to you. Express route, where it will be used, it will be used between on premises to the cloud.
Okay.
If anyone like you and me wants to connect to our environment, then we use VPN only. There is no other way, right? Express route will not be configured to our personal networks. That will happen between the organizations, right? For example, on premises to Azure cloud, they'll configure express route. Even some customers, they'll configure the VPN between the on premises and cloud. That is also doing. Okay, I think that's it. If we are able to connect, that's what the VPN is working fine, and we can literally disconnect the VPN, etc., etc.
So this is a point to site. So site to site is also same or different?
Same
What?
thing, same thing. That will be configured again. See, point to site, anyways, that comes under our situation. We need to connect to the production. That's what point to site. Site to site, let me tell you, you do have some Azure environment, you do have some on-premises environment. Between those two, generally the express route will be configured. And between your cloud and on-premises, whoever working as a third-party company, right? Something like TCS, Wipro, they also need to have the connectivity to their site, right? Their site, that is site to site. Generally, between those two organizations, site to site will be configured, but concept is same. Point to site, to site. It's about VPN only. Without VPN, they don't able to connect.
Okay, got it.
That's it. I'm just removing it because it is done. So this is what from me today. And there are topics pending. How many topics pending? I think you asked this scale sets, virtual machine scale sets, VMSS, and DevOps. These
Sir,
two, yeah.
We have asked yesterday to share this script of Terraform script.
Yeah. Okay. Can we do that now? Let me zip it and send to you.
Yeah.
Just a moment. Let me stop my share. I'll zip all the stuff and send it to you. If you
Okay.
have time, I can send now itself.
Yeah, actually, you have told that you will send through GitHub.
Yeah, because why I'm not
So we
doing,
can
because
easily.
GitHub will be covered by tomorrow. If you are able to wait till tomorrow, I can share using GitHub. Is that okay? Or else?
I think it's better to share now.
Now. Okay, no
Yeah.
problem. I don't mind. It's up to you. Remind me tomorrow if you want.
Okay.
Or else I can, let me open the GitHub. Okay, let me open my DevOps repo. I think I'm having some repositories. At least that will help you now.
Okay.
Whatever yesterday we saw on that Medallion, Azure POC, etc., that will be available in Git in my repos. Okay. Azure POC repos. Okay, I'll do one thing. You able to see me, right? This particular URL?
Yes, sir.
Let me paste in the chat. Just open that. That's a public repository just created for the training purpose. So open that. Are you able to see that? I'll explain you what you need to concentrate.
Yeah, we are able to.
And there, click on repos. Click on left side, repos. Are you able to do that?
Yes.
Okay. And here you can see a number of repositories, my test repositories. In that, just select Workspace Medallion 1. This is what I explained you yesterday, right? So if you go to Medallion 1 and module KB Linux VM, this is what yesterday I explained you. You literally clone it. Click on the clone, any directory, clone. I think you can download as a zip file. Where you can download? Clone is okay. But this will be helpful for you if you, yeah, download a zip. See, click on this three dots, download as zip. It will be downloaded to your local directory. You can open that in Terraform.
Actually, we are able to see only the main file.
I'll instruct you. Share your screen.
Yeah.
Okay, you're in Packer, image builder, leave it. Click on the image builder. Let me, yes, there, and select module Linux VM below. Module Linux VM, you can select it. Yeah, select it. And see, these are the right. So on the three dots, right hand side, right after the clone, there will be three dots. Yeah, even here, download it. Download as zip. This will be downloaded.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Thank you.
Like that, you can see much more repositories. Go through that. Go through that. And some DevOps as well, which you don't need it to. Don't worry. Whatever we concentrated yesterday, like virtual machine, resource group, VNet, subnet, those will be available here. You can use Metallion 1. Don't go Metallion, go Metallion 1. That will work.
Okay. Yesterday's is Metallion 1, is it?
Yeah, Metallion 1.
Okay. Okay, sir. Yeah. Thank you.
This is okay, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay, then you can stop your screen share. So others, Naresh and Rajesh, it's same thing for you, right?
Yes, sir. No,
Yeah.
I haven't downloaded. So I need
Download it, but that's what. And
Yeah,
we
I have
cover.
also downloaded.
Perfect. Okay, then we wind up today and we meet tomorrow with Azure DevOps. So yeah. So
Sir,
we will,
in this Azure, I mean, training. So we have
Azure
covered.
Prime.
Yes, sir.
What is
So
it,
we
Azure?
have covered. So this is our training. During our
Yeah.
training,
Yeah.
so we have covered only the basics or advanced topics also we have covered.
It's advanced. It's actually advanced with basics. Basics are there, advanced is there. So where there is possibility of deep dive, where you needs to deep dive, there we already deep dived. It's literally not the basics. We literally did the deep dive. If you take some concepts, we literally already done. And this is what we do in Azure. As an Azure administrator, this is what we do, isn't it?
Sir,
Sir,
actually,
and one more session will be there for Terraform, sir.
No, Terraform, that's it. That's it. You can go through, and if you have any doubts, bring it to me. But don't go through whatever I given directly. That's for your reference. Day one to here, you have to cover step by step. Step by step, you have to come. Because this is training, right? We can accommodate 1 hour, 1.5 hours per day. So in that, whatever the most important, we cover there. You have to cover all that 1 hour, 1.5 hour on entire day. That's actually planned, right? I'm not sure whether you're doing that or not, but if you've done that, Terraform will be the very easiest thing for you. Not only Azure. If you learn Terraform, you can work on AWS, Google, or anything.
sir, actually, in yesterday's script, there was new keywords like lookup or something. Actually, we don't really aware of those things. So
Yeah, those are inbuilt functions. So yeah, I think lookup yesterday I explained. No, is it not?
yeah, you have
If you
explained.
feel one more session is needed, I'm okay with that. Then what we do is we will have a separate session for that. I think, yeah, till Friday we have time. till Friday. We have time. So if one session is needed, we'll take that.
Okay. So still how many sessions remain? Three
Friday.
classes?
Till Friday. I think one topic, virtual machine skill sets, is added now. And
Yeah.
you're asking one more session for the Terraform, right? So yeah, till Friday it will be 5 more sessions. What my assumption? Is it Friday? No, 4 sessions from here. 2 DevOps, 2 additional steps. Yeah. And 1 step for the interview preparation. Yeah, 5 in total.
Okay. Okay, sir.
But we'll freeze the content as it is. Please do not increase. Something is really needed, nothing to worry. With this particular information, we can easily go through other topics also. Why we are not covering 235 services, because we do have some 40 days only, right? There are 235 services are available in Microsoft Azure. We really unable to spend all those 235. It will take 2 years to learn. 2 years, literally, daily 1 hour means.
Okay.
And those are not needed for us. Whatever the very important for us, whatever the even medium important for us, been covered. That's it. Even you can feel, once you join, you can feel. So whatever we literally doing here, you are going to do there.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah,
Sir,
Rajesh.
so we can have some sample project, so that it will be easy for us to understand the flow, how in reverse.
Medallion 1 is a project actually. That's a project.
Okay.
I given to outside. See, project in the sense nothing. Azure administration, what you feel as a project. Each and every activity is belongs to your project, right? For example,
Yes, sir.
I'm working in TCS. Airtel is a customer. His daily activities are my project activities, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
It's not like .NET, Java, or Python. If you ask that, I'll give you some what to say, real time project. I can teach you there. But this is Azure administration. Each and every small task is a project activity. We can't club that in a line, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, but we'd like to do some real-time scenarios or cases. So, we'd like to implement
Whatever we done is a real time only. If you take the virtual machine build, disk activities, disk migration, snapshots, or the encryption, whatever we literally done is a project activities, real time activities. You're going to do this only. Whoever needs to create so and so, you're able to do, and whoever in the world needs to do in the same way. But we are having 2 different choices here. We are doing manually, we are doing with PowerShell, we are doing with Terraform, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
That's what we have to do in different varieties. Why? Because we don't know what your company is going to ask. That's why we covered multiple.
Got it, sir. That URL it's not working for me, sir. So I
No,
could
it
see
will.
that files.
It will work.
Shall I share my screen, sir?
Yeah, please. I think someone shared the screen. Who's she? Priyanka, it seems.
Priyanka. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
stopped it and
No problem. No problem.
Sir,
Yeah, this
can
is
you-
what, right? This is what. Go to the left side repositories. Left side,
Repos.
left hand side, down, repos.
Okay.
Yeah, click on that.
Okay.
And go top, middle, top, mid. Image builder is there, right? Image builder next to the files. Yeah, drop down. Here you can see these are the repositories. Different. Scroll down, you can see Medallion 1. And you're seeing here keyword, Linux VM, naming convention, isn't it? Resource group, storage, subnet, VNet, everything is there. Medallion 1, click on that. This is the main, right?
Okay, sir. Got it.
You can download all other.
Okay.
And one more thing. Click on the main.tf.
This one, sir.
Yeah. And here you have to change the source. Source I given GitHub URL. Source I given GitHub URL with my credential. Source you have to // module RG, module Linux VM, something like that. You have to replace. That's it.
Okay, sir. Got
I
it.
think you done it earlier. Same thing.
Yes, sir. Yes.
But this is real time. You have to download from the GitHub repository only. Any repository, any downloads, we won't reference to the previous folders. This is what we do. Just for our understanding.
Sir, Monday we'll cover GitHub, sir. So,
Yes, I'll start with GitHub and I'll cover the Azure DevOps as well.
okay, sir.
But Azure DevOps is optional for us. We don't need to speak much. That maybe may not be. They may ask or they may not ask. Thing is, okay. So yeah, we'll wind up today and we'll see tomorrow with a different topic.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thanks,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.